Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is McQueeney, and I honestly have no idea what I'm going to talk about in this video, so I'm just going to let it flow and just kind of like let everything that comes to mind come to mind. So right now, I'm reading a book by Matthew McConaughey. I don't know if you guys have heard of it before. I want to get it for a while, but I got it for Christmas. It's called Green Lights. And right now, I finished the second part where it talks about, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it's basically talking about how he traveled to Australia and had to live with another family. And basically, it talks about like how it's a different lifestyle from what he was experiencing, back in America when he was growing up with his family and, everything that was going on with that. And he realized, how much of a difference there was in just like the dynamics of like the family and just everything else. So, I'm just going to say all of it because I'm trying to like beat around the bush so I don't like spoil it for you guys. But if you get the book, you'll get an understanding of it because it's a really interesting part that I really I was just dialed in. I just read this for the past like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So it was a really good chapter. But basically, so he was finishing high school. Everything was going great for him. Like he was like the most handsome like in his grade or something. He was just like everything was going good. And he got out of high school and was like, all right, it's time for, a change. I didn't know what he wanted to do. So his mom was like, let's become, an exchange student over in like Australia. He was like, let's do it. He's like adventurous and wild. So, Matthew McConaughey, of course, he's going to take that up. So he, went overseas and moved in with a family called the Dooleys. And he had to make an agreement to stay in Australia for about a year. So what he thought originally was that when he was going to get to Australia, he was going to be like living on a beach with the ocean, with the sand. Everything was going to be nice and beautiful. So he landed in Sydney, which was like the big city where the airport was and everything. That's like the biggest spot in Australia. And they started driving after, they picked him up, the Dooleys. And that was his new family. It was his dad, Norvell, I think his name was. His mom was like Marjorie, that was her name. And then the son's name was Michael. So they were all driving and they left the airport and they went out of Sydney. He's like, oh, you don't live in Sydney? And they're like, nah. And they went to this other city. I forgot what it was called. He's like, oh, you don't live there? And like, nah. They kept driving for like hours until they got to this little small town that was like 1,800 people. Like the population was 1,800. And I don't know, his whole perception on everything just changed where it was like, all right, this is not what I was expecting. And then also when he was living with them, things started happening that were really weird where it was like he would say certain things, but like they didn't like it, or like you can't have your own opinion, like you have to be like stick to the facts or something. And then there's another part where basically he was living with them for about 6 months at a point, and they were like, you have to call us mom and pop. And it's like, nah, I'm not calling these people I just moved in with my mom and dad. I have my own mom and dad. Like there's no point in even doing that. So he basically talks about how he found himself in those moments before things changed and he moved in with a different family, because it just got to a point where it's like he was losing his shit, and things just were not going well. So I feel like it resonated in a way for a lot of people who are going through like their struggles in their early like 20s or young teenage years, because I mean, even if you're not moving out of the country, moving in with a different family, you're gonna go through a point in time where things are tough, where things are rough, and you have to like find yourself and figure out who you are as a person, and just allow yourself to just be alone and like deal with struggle. Because there's a moment when I was working with like a commercial company, I was working with another company, where it was just like I was doing just hours on end of work, and I just was not like, I was like, his biggest thing in this chapter was talking about like, oh, maybe it's just a something with the culture of Australia, but it kept happening, it kept getting worse, and he was trying to stay positive about it. And like there's a breaking point where it's like, all right, maybe this isn't normal, maybe this is just like a weird situation that's going on. And that's happened with me, where it's like, all right, I got to change some things. Like I stuck to it for a little bit, but it doesn't feel right with me, so now I have to stay true to me, what's my calling and how I feel about the situation. And then you have to kind of make a business decision based on what you want to do going forward. So that whole chapter really resonated with me in a way where it was just like, you have to allow yourself to reach rock bottom in order to go up. Because if you don't reach rock bottom, you'll never know what you know, what it feels like to actually, you know, make something for yourself and go up and create a life that you want to live and get the results that you want. And then you have more confidence, more self-respect for yourself as a result, because you understand who you are as a person and you believe the things that are true to you. And that's the hardest thing for a lot of people. Even for me, for the longest time, like I'm still trying to figure it out a little bit, but it's like, all right, what are like my core values? Like, who am I? You know, what is my message? Like, what do I bring to the world? What is my main goal in life? Like, getting closer with God overall. Like, you have to really, you know, you have to know who you are in those moments when you're alone and it's nothing but just you and your thoughts and God. And, you know, if you just really sit in silence, write down, journal, you know, just allow yourself to just be, that's when you really find out who you are. And yeah, it's a game changer and whole perspective shift, paradigm shift, I guess you could say, just for your whole entire life. So yeah, this book's really good. If you want to check it out, I have it on Amazon down below in a link. I'm still reading it. I'm about like 3 days in, I think, 4 days in, and I'm about like 100 pages in so far. So we've been reading pretty good this year so far, even though everything's been going on with a bad, rough start to the new year, but it's fine. It's going good, and I just hope that things get better. And yeah, you just gotta stay positive and optimistic throughout the whole entire thing. 'Cause things are gonna be rough, just like I said, and you know, everyone's got their own story. So you can't compare yourself to anyone else. You just have to play the cards you're dealt and allow yourself to make the right decisions and the right choices to get in a better position down the line. So it could be good, it could be bad. You know, it's a roller coaster. It's life, man. So you got to figure it out for yourself, and everyone's ride is different. So that is my message for today. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you resonated with this. Comment down below if this resonates with you, because this is just like, it's a crazy story and it really resonated with me. So yeah, let me know if you like content like this, more raw talking videos. I'm probably gonna do more edited videos. I keep saying this, but I want to do like either like a morning routine or a day in the life, or even just like tutorial based stuff, or just like a workout, just something different, just to, you know, switch it up and just add more personality and just more authenticity to my videos, I guess you could say. So yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching. I'm McQueeney, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.